As they board the ferry, filing behind a string of SUVs, the odors of salty air and diesel fill the Mini's interior. As soon as the car comes to a stop and Nia has killed the engine, she seems to turn her focus to revenge. Craning her neck in all directions, she searches the packed car deck for the Ferrari, and over the loud music, she recites the license plate of the driver who cut her off. There he is. She zips up her hot pink ski jacket. Don't be rash, he says. Think this through. But the advice-giving doesn't work in reverse. Nia is the bossy one, and Timo's comments cause her eyes to bulge. You're telling me to let this go? You want to let that fucker get away with it? The anger blows him back. Get away with what? Nia gets out of the Mini and slams the driver's side door. She yells something unintelligible over the ferry's deep engine as she plunges into the sea of cars. It's no use chasing after her. Out of the surrounding vehicles spill passengers who emerge like cockroaches after sunset, and Nia disappears into the crowd. Timo doesn't know what to do. Normally, he and Nia would go upstairs together, one of them getting in line for coffee and the other securing seats near the front of the vessel. The view from the bow is spectacular, even on an overcast day like today. Once, he saw a pod of orcas, and now he looks for them every time he makes the crossing from the mainland to Williwaw. Today, the scenery is probably the furthest thing from Nia's mind. Timo expects her to come back with an apology and a sense of shame. But after 15 minutes, it becomes apparent that Nia isn't returning until she has finished whatever it is that she needs to finish. But why is it taking her so long to give this guy an earful? He heads upstairs, checking each floor as he climbs. There are 2 levels for parked cars, a main floor with a cafeteria and gift shop, and an outdoor viewing deck on top of the vessel. Despite the multiple stories, the ferry is compact and no longer than a soccer field. As he reaches the end of his search, he still can't find Nia. Outside the window, he makes out the distant contours of Williwaw Island through the driving snow. They'll dock soon. Where is she? He opens the door to the observation deck on top. The wind blows him back hard, stinging his cheeks and rushing into the flaps of his open ski jacket to puff him up like a parachute. 2 teenagers sitting in a window seat nearby titter, but he ignores them and tries again with 2 hands to open the door. It flings back on its hinges and Timo plunges into the evening air, which blows wild and stormy. He's surprised that the ferry is sailing in such weather. It must be that the storm came on so suddenly that they didn't have time to cancel. A layer of snow has accumulated on the deck. At the bow, 50 feet ahead, he can make out blurry shapes. At least 3 of them. The squall from earlier that sent their car spinning has become a full-on blizzard, and when he takes a step, he immediately tumbles, banging his tailbone hard on the deck. He curses his leather loafers and their impracticality as he struggles to standing. When he sets off again, the icy claws of winter grasp Timo in a chokehold, the snow coming faster until he is eating the stuff, choking on it. The flakes spin frantically, stinging his eyes, and he can't see anything but a near-blinding wall of white snow. And then there's a flash of pink. He rushes toward it, nearly blind now. "Nee?" All he can hear in response is the roaring of the wind. His internal temperature begins to plummet as his clothes become soaked. It feels like he's being suffocated by a bedsheet, and as he grows nearer, he hits a patch of wet snow and slides again, flipping onto his back and landing with a thud. Peering up at the snow, catching his ragged breath, the snowstorm seems to pause for a moment. Long enough for Timo to hear a loud thunk. It sounds like a skull meeting a metal railing. With great difficulty, he gets to his feet and squints, but he can't see much until a flicker of white catches the corner of his eye. It streaks past on the left side of the deck. A human face? A bird? A rocky cliff on Williwaw Island? Nia seems to float toward him from behind, a puff of cotton candy. "What's going on?" he asks. "I've been looking for you." Her eyes shrink to pinpoints. She approaches carefully, as though he is a rabid dog,